Hey, what's going on, guys? Dero17 here, bringing you a Dying Light video for the day. And if you've noticed in my previous Dying Light video, I made one of me playing as the Hunter. Gave you a pretty basic summary of all the things that I can do as the Hunter and what your basic objectives are as the Hunter. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave a link in the description to it. You should go check that out. Happy. And for this video, I'm going to show you how I normally play as Survive going up against the Hunter. Either way, when you're playing, it doesn't have to be too hard if you actually know what you're doing. As a survivor, I've explained some of this in my last video, but I'll reiterate. You are given the UV light by default. Every time the match starts, if you don't automatically have it equipped in the slot, it'll tell you to hold up on your D-pad and it'll switch over to. You use this to take away the Hunter's ability to pounce on you. So when it gets close enough to you, you can just hold X. The way you can dodge it is if you spin in the direction that he is and you use the UV light, or you use the UV light whenever you see him in the range of it, and it'll decrease his pounce bar. He'll have to find some other way to engage or run away and try and re-engage, or it'll give you a chance to kill him. But what you'll notice that I have, and I'm doing right now, is I'm using my sense. As the Hunter, you're given a sense. It requires you to scream and give away your position on the map, as if there wasn't enough already giving away your position. But as the human, you just hold A and you can tell where he is. You can see where he is on your mini map. Now, unlike the Hunter, you can't see him through walls. You can see this orange pulse giving off, radiating from him. That you see this orange glow that he has. He just tried to hit me around, and it didn't work so well. And right there, when I used the UV light on him, notice how he was barely even able to jump because I decreased his pounce bar completely, and it pretty much rendered him helpless. The only way he could have escaped me then would have been if he drowned. Other than that, it's pretty much mine from the beginning. But back on over to that sense, I think it takes a pretty good distance away, as if there was enough already off from down. But it is still a good idea to keep an eye on where he is exactly, because there is a lot of vertical gameplay on here, and you may think he's up on the bridge when in actuality he may be creeping around down there on the ground with you. So you always need to keep an eye on him. And he may seem a long ways off at times, and he may seem a few builders off, but remember, those tendrils can get placed in place really, really fast.
I can feel it.
See in your face in a minute and on your screen, taking away with your mind if you allow them. Now, the basic of this game mode, for those of you that don't know, there are 5 nests. There are a certain amount of pods in each nest, like what I'm destroying right now. And the Hunter's objective is to protect them and take away all 10 of the humans' lives. So 10 lives, no matter how many humans are on the opposing team, but there will always be the same amount of nests. Pods that I'm destroying right now vary depending on how many humans are in the game. Other than that, everything else will stay the same. Now notice how I notice he's coming up on me right now. I can't tell if he's in the warehouse or he's below me, but luckily I see him drop off, and now he's below me. And I'm able to use the light to drive him in pounce, but I used the UV light while he was in mid-pounce, and I was able to stop him and make a quick run because I don't feel like messing around with him. I'm going to use this time to get to my next nest. You notice I get some points whenever I beat the nest in the next little clip that I'll show you in just a second after I make this Hunter Rage quit. You'll notice that I use flares, which is an extremely cheesy way of beating the Hunter, because it's basically like a UV light, except it's a flare and you can just keep on throwing it and he can't get on top of you, and it allows you to destroy the nest pods 1,000,000 times faster. If you have a highly upgraded weapon, you can just destroy the nest just like that. It doesn't take much. You just swing over them in about 3 seconds each. You just continue hitting on them every second you destroy them. Now right here I destroyed the nest, and you're about to see the ground flare. I'm using one of my really, really upgraded weapons. I believe the damage on it is about 400 or 500. I'm not too sure. You'll notice I just It took no more than 4 hits to take out that one little pod because I had flares. And also, if I had that flare down, if he would have tried to pounce on me, he wouldn't have been able to because it would have interrupted the pounce every time he got close to me. The UV light suppressant that he just shot at me, you see me use before, that'll disable your UV light, it won't disable a flare. That's just one thing you have to try to overcome as a hunter. And he just messed up by doing that this close to the nest. It just gives me an easy full sprint to get over here and try and destroy it with my cricket bat. It can be pretty tough and a pretty good game depending on who you're going against. But in the end, it all really matters in skill, and typically the hunters don't have too much skill. They'll just try and spam their UV light suppressants and their horde spits, which they managed to they managed to work off of pretty easily. Because if that UV light hits you, the next thing they do is they just keep on trying to pounce on you, and there's nothing you can do about it because it takes a minute to switch over to your flares if you don't already have them in your inventory wheel slot. So you're pretty much at the mercy of the hunter unless you can get away to safety really fast. But that UV light suppressant, once you're hit by it, it takes so long to recharge. It's about 10 seconds. Those will be the longest 10 seconds you have ever went through if you do not have flares equipped. You can get flares by playing the story. You can craft them, and you also get them from the emergency airdrops that you can find around the map as you play. They're pretty easy to find, and you can just easily stack up on them. And notice that move that I just used. When he was trying to use that tackle move on me, where he punches me back into the wall, I hit the dodge button and went to the side, and there were some spikes behind me. And unknowingly, he just lunged into the spikes and killed himself. Which I thought was pretty crazy and pretty cool, but it's hard not to do when there are so many of those things around the map. It really makes it entertaining. You can actually do that as the hunter too. You can knock humans into the spikes, which is a really fun thing to do. Anyway, guys, I used this video to help prepare and show you some things that the humans can also do to protect themselves and fight the hunter. I hope this was entertaining, and if this video gave you enough information on what it's like to play as both sides in preparing you for my next video, which I hopefully will see you in. Anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.